Good morning guys, or good afternoon, good evening whenever you're watching this video, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a makeup look. We're going to be doing a very soft, glam, natural, dare I say it, quite luxury makeup look. Something that you can wear if you want to look elegant, put together, but not like you've got, too much makeup on. This is actually off the back of one of your guys' requests when I filmed a video which had like some elegant pieces in it. They said that the makeup look that I did for that video was very in fitting with the video style. So thank you for that. That was you, and that inspired this video. So I really hope you enjoy it. This is the look we're going to be creating, and let's get into it. So the first step we're going to do is prime. I've already done my skincare. If you want like a morning skincare video, let me know. There are a few steps to that just to get a bit of a glow and anti-aging, protecting you from the sun, etc. But for our makeup look, we're going to go in firstly with a primer. This will just make sure that the makeup stays on all day, and this is my all-time favourite primer. It's the Milk Hydro Grip primer. Now there is a dupe to this by Milk Makeup. This one can be quite pricey, so I'll link this one and the dupe down in the description box because the dupe is very good as well. So what I do with this one, I just take a soft fluffy brush and I just put a pump of this directly onto the fluffy brush. I've washed all my brushes, especially for this video today. So then what I do is dot this across the face. And then we're just going to blend it out. You can just stipple it out or blend it out. I find if you blend it with your fingers, that can interrupt your skincare a little bit. This just makes sure that it just goes across the face nice and evenly. That needs to sit for a minimum of 30 seconds just so that it gets tacky and that the makeup sticks to it. So then we're going to go in with our eyes. Now the key to this look, I think, is very minimal eye makeup. You don't want anything too dramatic. You basically want to just sort of try and enhance your natural features. So what I'm going to do is just get a little bit of eyeliner. So I'm using these eyeliners, which I adore. I've talked about them loads in my other videos. These are the 3INA eyeliners. They're between £5 to £7 on Amazon. They're really affordable. You can also get them in Superdrug. And this is a shade 575. I also really like shade 558. And I'm just going to run that along the top of my lash line. Very simple, very minimal, but it just enhances your lashes. So if you weren't going to wear mascara, for example, that just makes your lashes look thicker and longer. And we're just going to apply some mascara. Now I have two options for this. I have two favourite mascaras and they are quite different price points. So my first favourite is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Waterproof Mascara Full Fan Effect. This creates a lovely amount of volume and length to the lashes. I also love the Hourglass Caution Extreme Mascara, and actually there is a third because I also love the Hourglass Unlocked Mascara, but these ones are over £30 and this one you can normally get between £6 to £7 on Amazon. So yeah, I mean, and I think they're just as good as each other. This one gives a slightly more full dramatic effect, but in the interest of this makeup look, we're probably best off going with the Maybelline. This is what the brush looks like. So let's just go in and put a couple of coats of that on. So that's our mascara done. I'm deliberately not doing any eyeshadow, no flicks on the eyes, nothing like that. So with this look, basically you want it to look sort of very clean girl, wide open eyes, elongated lashes, but not too done. The minute you start adding like eyeshadows or extra eyeliner under the eyes, mascara under the eyes, it takes into a more dramatic, glamorous makeup look, which is really nice, and there's a time and a place. But for this look, it's all about just sort of like enhancing your natural features. So that's our eyes completely done, super easy. So the next thing to go in with is our base. This primer now will have set so that we can now apply makeup onto it. The base that I'm going to use is my absolute favourite base. I've talked about this a lot, and it is the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin, what's it called again? It's got such a long name. Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint Hydrating Foundation Stick. I wouldn't describe this as a foundation, it's definitely a skin tint. It's got very sheer coverage. I wear shade 7 medium. If you want something with a bit more coverage, but you want like a glowy, natural skin look, I would definitely recommend Dior Forever Glow Star Filter. This is a very, very good product, and it's just a bit heavier than this one. The other ones I'd recommend if you want to go that little bit extra is using a normal foundation with something like Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury underneath it, or the Saint Laurent Touche Éclat foundation. This one's really nice as well. This is in shade B50 that I wear this in, and that gives a nice glowy finish, but it has got quite a lot more coverage. There's also one by Clarins. The Skin Illusion by Clarins is a very serum-like foundation which gives a nice glowy, dewy finish. So those are all good options if you want something a bit heavier. But I find, particularly on my skin, which is aging skin as I approach 40 very soon, I feel like a skin tint is more flattering. It doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles, and it just kind of like enhances the glow. So this is very, very good, and it's also very good for travel. This is what it looks like, and I'm just going to just swipe it across my face. Oh, hair. It doesn't really matter with this product because it's so blendable, how heavy you go in with it or how neat you are, because you're just going to blend it out and it will blend out like a dream. So that's that, just literally slapped it on. You can see the glow already. And then I would take a soft fluffy brush. My favourite brush for this foundation is this one from Refi, which is the dual-ended brush, but you can use any soft fluffy brush, and then you just blend it out, and just like that it blends out like a dream. I'm very conscious I have like a crease on my face from my pillow, so that's not ideal for filming a makeup look, but we'll just try and ignore that. Okay, so you should just be able to see that lovely luminosity that gives to the skin instantly. It's not hiding anything. You can still see my freckles, you can still see like my blemishes and things like that, but it's just giving that like overall illusion of glowy, camouflaged skin. Really pretty. If you have oily skin like me, you will need to powder this down a bit, unless you want to look like super intensely glowy, but it's almost bordering on shiny. If you don't have oily skin, then you may be able to get away with not powdering it too much. The next thing I want to do is highlight and sort of blend in any dark shadows in my face. I don't really want to conceal, I almost just want to, as I say, like camouflage it and make it look less harsh. So where I've got dark circles under my eyes, lines around my nose, mouth, etc. Now, I do really love this concealer. It is my all-time favourite concealer from Il Makiage, but I appreciate that you can only really get this on subscription, and you can only really get it online through the website, so it's not easy to buy for everybody. So what I would recommend as a really amazing alternative to this is the Hourglass Seamless Vanish Concealer. Now that one is around £35, so it is quite expensive, whereas this is around 20, but the Hourglass concealer is better. I buy this one because it's very, very similar and not as expensive, but if you want something that's easier to buy, the Hourglass concealer is, in my opinion, it's the creme de la creme of concealers. So with this one, we're not going to go in heavy. I'm just going to dot it onto some areas I'll show you here. So under the eyes, where the under eye circles are, this concealer is so blendable and seamless that, again, you don't need to be precise or worry about it too much, because it is just going to blend beautifully. I add these bits here, that just provides more lift to the eyes and the face. Around my nose, because I get like dark shadows here and some blemishes, especially hormonal blemishes. And then I go in around my mouth, a little triangle, and that's just going to lift the mouth area. Finally, upper lip, chin, and then a swipe and a swipe. So that's where we're at with the concealer. You've got a few options for blending this. You can use like a small beauty blender, one of the tiny ones, one of the flat ones. You can use a brush. I've got a freshly moist beauty blender, so I'm going to be going in with that and then tapping the bits in the corner of my eye with my finger. It's so seamless. It works very, very well. If you want high coverage though, this doesn't give you that, so I'd probably recommend something like the NARS Creamy Concealer, which is going to give you a higher coverage, or the Dior Backstage Concealer. That is absolutely brilliant for covering blemishes. I'll show you that as part of this video. So quick, so that's the concealer blended. Right, so let's cover up some blemishes then. I can show you which concealer I'd recommend for that, which is this one. This is the Dior Backstage Concealer. I wear shade 3W, which matches my skin tone as opposed to like highlighting my skin, because I want it to actually cover and conceal, whereas this one is more like highlight, blend, camouflage, and I wear this in shade 8. As I say, all of these will be linked for you, so you need to remember. The Dior concealer comes with a little brush applicator, so it's really easy. So we'll cover up these spots that I've had here and that I've picked. Do not pick your spots. So what's the worst thing ever, but try telling myself that. And then I'm just going to blend it with this. And there we go. So yeah, really, really good for concealing. You could use this under your eyes if you wanted to. I personally just prefer something a bit lighter. I've just changed into a top just because I was getting a little bit warm. So there's the glowy base all done. We're ready to move on now to like some definition, brows and things like that. So let's do our brows to start with. There's two options I'd probably say for this brow look. You can either go in with something like this, which is the Benefit Gimme Brow. This is nearly all run off now, but I think it was shade 4, which is dark brown, or the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze, which will give you more of like a laminated look, whereas this adds more colour and makes your eyebrows look more fluffy. I think in that video I actually used the Gimme Brow, but I think for the overall aesthetic of this look, this is probably better. So this is the Anastasia Brow Freeze Gel. And this is just a mini because I wanted to try it to see if I liked it, and I love it. And it doesn't react with your makeup or anything. You know, some brow products can cause your foundation and things to pill. This is what it looks like. So I just swipe it through my eyebrows. You can use the flat side to deposit more product as well. And then I just use the teeny little comb on the top of the brush just to comb it through. So it looks messy to start with, and then you just comb it through. Okay, so that's all done. So we're just going to let that dry down because it dries like rock solid, so it's not going to move once you've actually applied this product, which is great, just lasts all day. So next up, I'm just going to contour a little bit. My absolute all-time favourite contour stick is the Westman Atelier contour stick. So I've got this mini, which is what I tried when I try out the product. Sometimes I buy the minis, I don't want to commit to a full size. This is in the shade Ganache. It's a beautiful, cool toned contour, lasts all day, so easy to use. I loved it so much, I actually bought the full size, which is ready to use. I kind of wish I hadn't, just for one reason, which is that Dior have launched a contour stick that I really want to try, but I now can't justify trying that because I've already bought a replacement to my Westman Atelier, and these aren't cheap either. So when I've used up that one, or it's near the end, I'm definitely going to try the Dior contour sticks. I will link that actually because I tried some on my hand when I was in a shop and it was still there hours later, so I think they have really good staying power. This is like a crayon, which I love, so I'm just going to do my nose. And we're just going to do lines like that. Now, depending on your age, I think that it is and isn't flattering to contour your cheeks. So when you age, your sort of skin and your face naturally sort of draws down as you lose bone density and things like that. So sometimes when I contour my cheeks, even when I contour them really high up, it can still make me look more drawn in the face. So I'm not going to contour my cheeks for this video, but if you want me to show you how to do that in another video, obviously I can, but I'm just going to do my nose and under my jawline to make it look more snatched. And I just do a dot, 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 and then blend it out. It looks very dark, but it blends out really lovely. I would definitely use like a tapered contour brush for this. This one is KVD. These brushes are really pricey. I don't think you need to buy them from KVD, but just any sort of like stiff brush that's got an angle to it, so it's easier for you to blend out contour. Can you see how easily that's blended? And it just makes your nose look more streamlined. And then I'll do the same underneath. That concealer from Dior won't budge even though we're blending over it with this, because it's got such good staying power. Just gives a more sort of like, as I say, angular, snatched jawline look. And then what I'm going to do is just add a teeny bit of concealer just here where I did the contour, just to make sure I haven't blended it too high up. Apologies if the angles change slightly. I've just let my hair out just to let it sort of rest before I style it, before I continue with the makeup routine. But the next stage is blush. So let's go in with some blush. If you want like a natural, glowy, flushed look, there are two blushes I'm obsessed with. The first one is this from Chantical or Chantigali. Someone let me know how to pronounce that. But it's basically a gel cream blush, and it is so gorgeous. I discovered it in December in the Space NK advent calendar, and I haven't looked back. This is in the shade Vibrant. We'll use that today. Equally though, I love this. This is the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer in the shade Rosy. They're both beautiful, but we're going with this today. So this is so easy to use, and literally you need the smallest amount. So I put it on the high points of my cheek, almost where you would put highlight. You want it really high so that it's going to brighten, highlight, emphasize and lift your face, as opposed to pulling it down, and give you a lovely rosy glow. So now that it's on both sides, I'm just going to do a little dot on the bridge and a teeny little dot on the nose. It's just going to give an overall nice flushed effect. Always use this brush. This is clean, but the blush really stains it, which shows you how long it lasts on the skin. And then we're just going to stipple it out. So natural but glowy, and yeah, just beautiful on the skin. And then just work over the bridge like so, just so that it's seamless, and then dot 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 on the end of your nose. And that's our blush done. Very natural, very glowy. This is buildable, so if you want more of like a blushy, rosy look, just go in again exactly the same way, but we're just going to keep things sort of more natural in this look. There are a number of lip liners that I really love. The one that we're going to be using is super affordable. It's only £4. You can get it from, if you're in the UK, Boots and Superdrug, but I'm sure you can get it worldwide. It's Maybelline. So this one, it's from their Colour Sensational range, and this is in the shade Almond Rose. I really love a deep pinky nude, particularly on my skin tone. I do think it works really well because it's quite similar to my lips, but it still looks like you've got something on and you look a little bit done up, but not overly so. If I'm not going for a deep pinky nude like this, I will definitely go for more of a natural red, and by natural red I mean something that's almost identical but slightly deeper to the natural red of my lips. I've got some really good suggestions for that, but as we're focusing on this makeup look, I'll talk about these today. So I love this one. It's really affordable, it's so smooth, it's really good. Something very similar if you're looking for like a more luxury brand, the Charlotte Tilbury. This is Walk of No Shame. It's slightly deeper in colour, but it is a really nice one. I also really like the Dior Nude Look number 100. That's another really nice pinky nude. Again, a little bit more pricey. And I also really like the Il Makiage liners as well. This one is in the shade Antique. So they're all more or less the very similar pinky nude shade, deep pinky nude. If you go for something and you have like a medium skin tone or brown skin that's too light of a nude, it can look quite ashy against the skin. But yeah, we'll put this one on today. So what I'm going to do is just overline my lips, but not dramatically so that we don't want to look too done. This goes on like an absolute dream. I've never tried the Hourglass Phantom lip balm glossy things. I really love Hourglass makeup. If anyone's tried those, let me know. Do you like them and are they worth it, do you think? So just overline my lips, as I say, not dramatically so, but just to give it a bit of something, make them look a little bit bigger and add some depth of colour. To add that final sort of look of polish to the lips, I would then add a lip balm / gloss and or a lipstick. I can't recall in the video that I filmed where I had comments on the makeup whether or not I use a lipstick. If I did, it would have been one of two lipsticks. It would have been either the Dior Nude Look nude lipstick, because that matches perfectly with this tone from Maybelline. It also matches obviously perfectly with the matching lip liner from Dior, or this one. Now this is actually a sequin lipstick from Dior, but it's so subtle, it's more of like a shimmer, and this is in the shade 323 sequin. The other one, which was like more of a recent discovery for me, is this one by Lisa Eldridge. Look how beautiful that packaging is. This is in the shade Painterly, and this is the colour. So it's more of a rich nude. So it would have been one of those anyway, I imagine, but quite often I just do lip liner and lip balm or gloss and don't actually wear lipstick that often. For the look today, we can go in with the Dior, because I think that's probably the most readily available if you were wanting to copy the lip look. This is part of the Velvet lipstick range from Dior, so it's just lovely, soft and nourishing, and feels so nice on the lips. It really doesn't feel like a kind of like irritating tacky lipstick. Tacky, by tacky I don't mean tacky, I mean like a tacky feel. And then just to finish off on the lips, I would literally, as I say, apply a balm or a gloss, and I have two favourites. So I'll either apply one of the sort of peptide lip balm type things, which you've probably seen them absolutely everywhere. They come in a tube like this. I've got quite a few. I've got an Olay Onyxen one, the Summer Fridays one in Brown Sugar. The Olay Onyxen one I think is in the shade Creme Brulee, so they're both like nudie browns. They're really nice but really subtle. I also love this one from Laneige. It's in the shade Vanilla. It's completely clear, so it doesn't deposit any colour, but it gives a lovely sheen to the lips. But if I'm going for a gloss, my absolute favourite gloss is again from Maybelline, and this is the one that I was wearing in that video, and it is this one. It's the Lifter Gloss. It says they contain hyaluronic acid, but you can get them really cheaply. Amazon always does really great offers on Maybelline for some reason, but this is like the colour of it, and I'll pop it on. You'll see how lovely and like juicy it makes the lips look. There we go. So it's quite like a subtle glossy look, but it really does plump them out, but it doesn't have that tingly effect, which I find like a bit, I don't know, I find like quite irritating when they're like tingling and sore to give them a plumped up effect. So I find this quite nice and natural. I'll come in a bit closer. So all I'm going to do now is just powder and then set the makeup. Anyway, powder. For me, there's no other powder than the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. This powder has been in my routine for donkey's years. There's no need for me to find anything else, try anything else. I have done that in the pursuit of finding something better, but in my opinion, there isn't anything better. So I have this one. I also have, it's in this drawer? No, it's in my travel drawer. I've also got a mini, I think I showed it on my last vlog when I was doing a little trip away. So I've got the mini version, so when I'm traveling, that's just smaller for your makeup bag, but it's such a good powder. It doesn't crease, so if you're someone who's prone to creasing under the eye, it doesn't do that. Lasts all day, keeps shine at bay. I've got very oily skin. Even while we're talking, like my skin is becoming oily, and yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic. So if you haven't seen this before, it's like that inside, and then you have a lid and you tap the powder into the lid. There are a few ways on how to do this that people show, but I'll show you the way that I do it. So I tap some powder into the lid. I get one of these. These are the little triangular powder puffs. You can get them in a big pack from places like Amazon. I think they do them in Primark. They do them in lots and lots of places now. And I prefer these to the, you can actually buy, Laura Mercier have like their own velour powder puff that you can use, but I do find that a little bit too big for going under the eye. So I have got a couple of those, but I actually prefer these and they're a lot cheaper. So I just swirl that into the powder just so that it really sticks to the powder puff, like that. And then I'm going to press that under my eyes. And then I'll probably need to add more powder to the lid, but just pressing that just under the eye. I'm not going to go all the way up because I don't want to remove like the majority of the glow to my face. I want that to shine through, but what I do want to do is set the makeup, set under my eyes, and where I've got oily parts, I just want that to stay at bay as best as possible. So with the excess, I just then dab over the other bits that get oily, which are above my lip, my forehead, and under my chin. No, I use enough powder, so I don't need to add any more. So where I'm dabbing into the rest of my face, I don't need to buff that away because that just absorbs into the skin. It just, the oil like absorbs it up. So that's the powder there. So just leave that to set just for a few seconds. And then what I do is use the other side of this Refi brush, which is like a much smaller, tapered, fluffy brush, and just buff away the excess. And when I'm doing that, I just go into my brow bone just to mop up any oil that's accumulated there. And that just gives you the most smooth under eyes, but with no, as I say, no creasing or anything. This really is a magic powder. I haven't tried the ultra fine one. They've released a new one which is like ultra fine, and yeah, I am tempted obviously to try it because it's not like it's a different powder, it's the same, but they've just made the formula finer. If anyone's tried that, please let me know, and let me know if you think it's better than the original. Also, I said I wasn't going to look for a better alternative, so I don't think there is one, but the Huda Beauty powder is supposed to be amazing, but again, never tried that, so I can't comment. So that's it, we're all powdered, and then my final step in this routine is just to set all the makeup. Sorry if you can hear the dogs. And I have a few setting sprays that I really love. This one is my absolute favourite at the moment. It's the Urban Decay All Nighter Extra Glow. So it not only like sets your makeup, but it adds a bit of glow back into the skin. I really love this one. When I first tried it, I didn't like the way it came out the bottle, but I think it just had been compressed for too long. Love it now, nearly finished it actually, it's like halfway I think. I also love this one, it's nearly finished. It's the Milk Hydro Grip setting spray, and the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray is also very good, but that makes me sneeze a little bit for some reason, I don't know why. And the MAC makeup, they do like a setting mist. I'm really keen to try the NARS reflecting setting mist as well. That's supposed to add another glow to the skin, so that'll be next on my list to try, I think. But for this makeup we'll be using this one, which is very good. The original is very good as well. So I'm going to let that dry down. So when it goes onto the skin like a little bit wet, like some of the setting mists you can find. Like for example, I recently tried this one, which was like viral on TikTok, and I'm unsure at the moment what I think about it because I'm not sure if it's too mattifying for me, but it's still like in my routine to try, so I can't like say 100% whether I dislike it at the moment. But yeah, this one's really nice. So that is it, that's our makeup done, apart from highlight. Now I've made a real rookie error here. Normally I will add my highlight before my setting spray, obviously, because I want to then set it all down, and I've just got caught up in this routine and not done that, so we're going to do it after. This is the highlighting powder that I'm going to use. It's the Christian Dior Luminizing Highlight in Coral. It looks like this. So beautiful. It enhances your blush but also adds like a lit within glow to the cheeks. It doesn't look too shiny or glassy or gold, which I really like to give that more natural makeup look. I've got a fluffy brush. This one is from by Terry, but any fluffy brush again would work. This is just a retractable one. We're going to swirl that in our highlight, tap off the excess, and then brush it onto the cheeks and down the nose. As I say, it's better to do this before you set your makeup, because then you're setting this, I'm going to have to reset again afterwards. That's it. And just see that beautiful lit from within glow that gives. Any excess on your brush you can just swipe over your face if you want to, just to add a bit more luminosity to the skin. Let's reset the makeup and then we're done. And that's it, guys, a very soft natural makeup look, which can work very well with elegant and classic outfits. Great for work, great if you just want a look that's not too sort of like in your face but still looks nice and put together. So really hope you enjoyed the video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're returning, then thank you so much for coming back. As I say, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Lots more to come. I'll see you again in my next video, and I hope you're all doing really well. Take care. Lots of love.